Big news, San Diego Padres fans. The pitching battle for the number 5 spot in the rotation is heating up. The Padres looks like they're getting some options that I am happy with, and I think you should be too. Let's talk about all of that and more on this episode of Padres Digest. Thank you, everyone, for tuning back in. Before we go any further, I appreciate how many new viewers we are getting come spring, come season time, but that's where I've got to start to now bug and remind you, and I will get this out of the way. We need to flip this graph by the end of the season. We need to have more of you returning than new viewers. And I appreciate everybody, but we want to grow a community here. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. All right, let's go back to the baseball highlights as I promised. This is Matt Waldron that you're looking at, our beautiful knuckleballer. So to reset where we are at with Matt Waldron as maybe the initial starting point for this, in terms of chronologically the highlights I want to get to. But we have 1 through 4 largely filled up with the San Diego Padres between Yu Darvish, Dylan Cease, Michael King, and Nick Pivetta. So there is a competition now for the 5 spot in the rotation. I don't believe that it is necessarily one person's to win and hold on to. I think the Padres benefit from having options. That being said, the options seem so far with everybody's had one outing, in terms of anybody that is not those first 4 pitchers that I mentioned. And then a couple people have had 2 outings. So we're starting to now get some repeat sample size. So some of this is overreaction on my part, but some of this is, I think, appropriate to talk about. First one, though, like I said, is Matt Waldron. He had I would deem a successful outing against the A's. As he said in the preseason, he relied more on his knuckleball than he did last season. We saw a higher percentage of it. I think all in all, a lot to be happy with here from this guy, Matt Waldron. He gets the win against the A's that day. A pair of Ks, 2 walks. So ball was moving, and I think that's all you can ask for, baseline, in terms of where are we with him. Next guy I want to talk about, Stephen Kolek. This guy started a game against the Cubs, threw a pair of innings, no runs, a couple Ks. I think he is initially, in a lot of the discussions offseason, I saw it be Randy Vasquez as the number 1 option. Then going forward, it was Waldron. Kolek was like a 3 or a 4 in terms of for that 5 spot. I think the outing that he showed me here was fantastic. He threw a lot of strikes. He was ahead in almost all of his counts. He looked really, really good for the Padres, and I think is the number 1A, 1B with Waldron. The other guy that I was really happy with, and I have sung his praises before, and I know that I am maybe a bigger fan of his than other people's online, but that is Adrian Morejon. The lefty came in relief from Kolek, so we have not seen him actually start a game. Not that that necessarily means anything in spring training. It will be nice to see him get some opportunities. I think just maybe it is a little bit of me being a holdover of the pre-stat era and just arbitrarily sort of liking things baseball-wise, but I like a lefty in the lineup. But this is where maybe you get a knuckleballer, you get a lefty, and you get someone like Kolek, who is just a generic strike-throwing righty, who you can send out there like a Nick Vincent type to, hey, just put the ball in the zone. Let's have a game. Let's move the season forward. I like these 3. Randy Vasquez, he got touched up a little bit in his start, so he, to me, was already the 4th of these guys, but I drop him to the 4, and I say right now, watch for Waldron, Kolek, and Morejon over the next couple of outings, because it's going to be big if we can have these 3 guys to platoon and or tweak and or figure out, it's just nice to have options in a long season where you're going to have some bumps and bruises. It's nice to have some confidence in some other guys. But B, once we reach the midway point of the season, either trade can be made for Cease or King to go get us an offensive option, or we lock all those guys up and we talk then about Joe Musgrove coming back to the rotation and us having options. So From a season where we don't sign Sasaki and we miss out on Snell and Verlander and yada, 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 to where we are at now. Not saying that like, oh, this is a lock. These guys are going to be all-stars. But I'm saying that high level of confidence right now that the Pivetta signing stretched us down to this is a perfectly appropriate competition for the 5 spot in the Padres rotation. And I think you guys should be very happy. Not saying you need to watch every single outing. That's my job. I'm doing it for you. I'll give you the TLDR on it. But the summary is we got 3 guys right now, I think, really competing for that 5 spot in the rotation / the first guy or the long guy out of the pen. I think we got some great options, and I think you guys should start getting a little bit excited because any one of these 4 or any one of these 3 guys as the 5 starter, it's a good team. It's a pretty good team, in the words of Larry David. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so Padres Digest can come to you all season long. Until then, we'll talk to you guys later.